Hello and welcome back to another video. I will tell you in this video why English language is a very easy language to learn. If you think that English is a difficult language, you're probably right because you always find a reason. I'm guessing you always find a reason to justify what you're believing. And this is common for humans because we all try to procrastinate, try to find excuses not to work hard, not to approach our goals and our targets with the strength and the commitment that is needed. So if you think that English language is difficult, you're probably right. But I'll tell you in this video why English language is the easiest language you can learn. Firstly, if you think that English is difficult, it might be because you think that there are too many irregular verbs. For example, tenses. There are too many tenses in English, which are difficult to comprehend. If conditions, all these conditionals, they're very hard for you to grasp. And all these, you're probably right. But to add to that difficulty, there is more things like tenses, irregular tenses and irregular verbs, the spellings that sound different to what they actually are written in. All these will form a group of excuses or an array of excuses in your mind to let you justify with yourself and with others, to justify to yourself and others that English is really difficult. But that's not true. The number of verbs that are irregular, they're limited, and so is the number of tenses, and also the number of exceptions that you have in English. They're all finite. They can be learned. So there is no use in pushing your belief that English is a very difficult language to learn. And I'll tell you why English is the easiest language for you to learn. So the first reason is that all these exceptions and irregular rules in English, they can be learned. And you don't need all of them to be in good command of English, to have a fluent English. And you don't need all the irregular verbs to know every form of it. You don't know so many. There is a car just pulling out right here. It's just distracting me. Anyways, sorry. There are so many verbs, irregular exceptions and tenses that you need to learn. You don't need absolutely every verb to learn in order to have a good command of English. You can survive with, you can even do really well. You can thrive with just a few, with knowing just a few exceptions, irregular verbs and tenses, and knowing some basic but mostly used idioms and phrasal verbs. Even with phrasal verbs, you can always guess what the meanings, what meanings they carry. So it's not that you have to know all the irregular verbs, all the tenses perfectly, or know all the phrasal verbs perfectly in order to be in a good command of English. It's totally the opposite. You just have to get used to it and learn as you go, and use them as you learn them. Learning new things is not just for you to store and put it away for the future. It's not going to be a treasure. It is the treasure. It becomes the treasure when you use it, and the best time to use it is now. Using it in social media, in text messaging, phone calls, even talking to your classmates about the things that you recently learned and what expressions you did not learn before but you now know what they mean and all that. So that is how you should address your perception that English is a difficult language. So now I would like to tell you why English is the easiest language. Well, firstly, because English does not have so many other complexities that other languages do. For example, in Portuguese or French, Spanish, all these languages, I know for a fact that in French they have, I think the nouns have genders, so you can have female noun and male noun, and they have other exceptions. For example, they have a different set of tenses, and they have many other difficult aspects that English does not have. Actually, an animal in English does not have a gender, but in French or Spanish, I've heard that they do, and that makes English a very easy language for you to learn. So why is it that English is very easy? Well, it's because there are so many resources out there available for you, literally at your fingertips, as they say. There are so many TV shows, movies, newspapers, websites that are built, that are designed for you to learn English. And even without that, you can use the mainstream media to help with your learning. So that is one reason why it's very easy to learn English. So English has new cases, new gender, new word agreement, and it has a very easy grammar system. So many resources available that are definitely a massive advantage of learning English. English cannot be learned just by going through books and trying to read books and memorize vocabulary or memorizing grammar or rules. It is learned by making it a habit in your daily life, to speak English, to use English, and to make it your lifestyle by listening to it, reading it, listening to music, conversations, talk shows, all of these, reading the whatever you see on social media, paying attention to what it is, and how the native speakers, they use English to express themselves, to describe things. These are valuable resources that you have access to wherever you are, basically. So it's the conclusion is that English is not a difficult language. It is in fact very easy, because you can find anyone, even in your own country, that speaks English, and it's easy to find someone to talk to in English, which is a very crucial part of learning English and improving it. So the bottom line is that English is easy. It's just your perception to think that it's difficult. So start from today and give it a go. You will master English in no time by combining resources, by bringing in all the efforts towards learning English and concentrating on what English actually can let you do in order to have a better motivation in learning English, rather than finding every excuse to justify not learning it, to justify yourself in thinking that English is a very difficult language. I hope your language learning goes well, and I'll see you in the next video for more tips on learning English. Bye for now.